simbahan ng Santa Fe na kung saan itinayo no pagkatapos ng Bagyong Yolanda. Sa mga pinagmamalaking landmark ng aming bayan, kung saan ang mga tao rito ay nagbibigay ng donasyon upang may patayo ang aming simbahan ng Santa Fe.
The history of Santa Fe Church was one of the biggest barrios of Palo. It is located about 7 kilometers away from its mother town of Palo. For many years, the people of this former barrio of Palo were receiving the sacraments and other church services out of the availability and convenience of the Palo priest. Any presence of the priest in the barrio was an opportunity for the people to fulfill their spiritual needs. It was on May 6, 1948 when Barrio Santa Fe was recognized as a town independent from Palo. The dreams, yearnings, and aspirations of the people were finally realized when a parish of their own was created. This important event occurred in 1953, and herewith began the evangelical works of the Saint Anne Parish. The parish chose Saint Anne, the mother of the Blessed Virgin Mary, as their patroness, with Father Doroteo Peñaranda as its first parish priest. When Typhoon Yolanda destroyed the houses of people in Santa Fe, Leyte, and including the Saint Anne Parish of Santa Fe, the people rebuilt the church, and now it is one of the beautiful church in Leyte. So we are done the history of barangay or municipality of Santa Fe, which is the Saint Anne Parish Church of Santa Fe. So we must go on with the next, which is the 3 tourist spots within the Eastern Visayas, which the first is the MacArthur Park, and the next is Korean Park, and also the last, the Palo Cathedral Church.
Magandang umaga aking kamag-aral at ating guro. Narito po tayo ngayon kung saan makikita natin ang statwa ng isa sa mga tanyag na general na tumulong sa pagpapaalis ng mga mananakop na Hapon. At dito mismo sa kinatatayuan natin naganap ang pagdating ni General Douglas MacArthur sa taong 1944 at tinupad ang pangako magbabalik muli sa lugar na ito.
The history of MacArthur Park. 75 years ago, on October 20, 1944, Allied forces returned to the Philippines as part of the largest naval engagement of World War II. The landing of Leyte's Red Beach featured the iconic image of General Douglas MacArthur wading ashore with Philippine President Sergio Osmeña, Carlos P. Romulo, and members of the CWPA staff fulfilling the pledge of I shall return. It took me only 30 or 40 long strides to reach dry land, but that was one of the most meaningful walks I ever took. General MacArthur wrote, "Few days later, the Philippine Commonwealth government was re-established on Philippine soil in a ceremony of Tacloban, Leyte."
Natin na pinuntahan naman ay ang Korean Park.
The history of Korean Park in Leyte. Palo, Leyte. The Korean Park was built by Korean Army who helped the people of Leyte, Philippines, particularly those in Tacloban, Palo, and Tanawan, restore their homes, schools, and livelihood after the road of Super Typhoon Haiyan or Yolanda in our local name. The history of Palo Cathedral Church. The Metropolitan Cathedral of Our Lord's Transfiguration, also known as Palo Cathedral, a gigantic and elegant church built in the year 1956 by the Jesuits, which became the residence for some time. In the year 1768, it was administered by Augustinians, which was afterwards administered by the Franciscans in the year 1843. In 1850, the church was repaired with the supervision of Father Agustin de Consigra, who oversaw the construction of the two towers of the church. The church was declared a cathedral on March 25, 1938, with Messenger Manuel Mascareñas as its first bishop. The Palo Cathedral is not only a religious landmark, but also a significant historical edifice. During the Second World War, the church served as a hospital for the wounded from October 1944 to March 1945. In November 2013, the church was among those heavily damaged, but even so, the same still became the refuge of several survivors. The church grounds also serve as the last resting place of those who perished because of the typhoon.